Did you use any kind of mental tools during recovery, right? So you just talked about gratitude, right? But when you were recovering, as far as like the scope of this podcast and mental performance, did you use any like visualization? Were you tracking your goals? Were you journaling? Did you use any mindfulness?
Yeah.
Talk to me about like mental tools or techniques that you may have used.
Yeah, absolutely. So I definitely, first and foremost, got very in touch with my faith. I, just put everything on God because we're not supposed to handle these things alone. So that was my number one tool. Second, I journaled. Yeah, I was journaling a lot and, just faith journaling.
What were you writing when you would journal?
Just really, when I started journaling, I was just kind of like, I know this is good and this feels good. So just very basic, just like kind of like a diary. And then it was just short. I was just trying to get into the habit of it. Just, I'd write whatever down. And then eventually it turned into just more deeper thoughts. And like, I really was kind of like going through therapy in my journal with myself, when you slow down and write things out, you are able to process slower and you're not distracted by other things going on. And so that really did help process a lot of my emotions and my thoughts.
Yeah. I think I've actually described to some of my clients before and myself personally, I feel like journaling is a very good form of self-therapy.
For sure.
Where it's like, no matter what you're doing, and I like how you described that you were just initially kind of like writing stuff down.
Yeah.
It's good to just get stuff out of your head.
Yep.
Because it's like floating around up there and like it's easy to kind of bicker with yourself back and forth in your brain or not really, be sure about what you're thinking. But then when you write it down, it's like you kind of give a body to it.
Yep.
You like create it in a certain sense. And you can see how valid it is or how not valid it is. And
Yeah.
you can write lists of pros and cons and see how ridiculous something looks when you write it down and go back and I don't know if you probably have gone back and looked at, months or weeks or days or whatever ago of your journal and be like, my God, like I was thinking that or I was feeling that back then.
Yeah.
And I feel so different now.
Yeah.
It's wild to like go back and look at it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
absolutely.
That's really cool. So, mindfulness.
Yep.
Probably just being aware of your body and these sorts of things.
Yeah. Another tool I would say is being very intentional about honestly everything I do, and I still am like that. I think it's really important. You don't just mindlessly do things. I think everything should have a purpose and a reason why you're getting better or doing something, and being intentional really does. I think it forces you to make healthier habits because you do look back and you think about the choices you're making and is that leading to me becoming a better person or me being successful? Am I doing the right thing? And so that was another thing I, took advantage of during that time.
Just trying to be more intentional about what you were doing.
Yeah. Because like you said, I was given a second chance. I was given another chance. And so I'm not going to waste it and do things that aren't making me a better person,
Yeah.
So